Hi, I'm Nicole, and I'm going to be reading Where the Tooth Fairy Hides Her Teeth, written originally by Audrey and adapted by me. It was a very hot, burning summer evening, so hot that you could fry an egg on the sidewalk. This was unusual weather, even in the summer, because in Monroe, Washington, it is constantly raining. Washington state is in the Pacific Northwest, where roads were flooded and winds were howling like werewolves. The summer had this kind of weather too, so to have the sun shining brightly and the temperature being raised to 80 degrees was an amazing gift for the residents of Monroe. The sun was setting, so the sky was a bright orange and pink, so it looked just like strawberry lemonade. Two best friends going into second grade together, Audrey and Jewel, were having a sleepover in Audrey's dusty, humid attic. The sun was peeking through the window, causing the dust particles to be noticed all across the window mantel. The entire attic was gleaming with the orangey color. It was about 5 in the evening, but both girls already had their pajamas on, because it couldn't be a sleepover without pajamas getting on early. Audrey's pajamas were the perfect summer sleepover pajamas. They were shorts and a t-shirt. Both were a rosy shade of hot pink that was just almost blinding to the eye if it was placed in the orange sun perfectly. The shorts were just this plain color of the hot pink. The shirt was too, but on the front of the shirt it was a picture of Audrey's favorite animated character, Hello Kitty. Audrey loved Hello Kitty very much. Besides her pajamas, she owned many items that had Hello Kitty on it, from posters to stickers to a lampshade and multiple outfits. Also on the front of Audrey's shirt were purple polka dots that went perfectly with the hot pink short sleeves in front. Jewel's pajamas, on the other hand, were covered with the Disney movie Frozen references. On the pale blue long-sleeved t-shirt was a picture from the movie, the Snow Queen Elsa, along with the snowman Olaf standing in a fluffy field of snow. She also had on the same pale blue-colored leggings that were covered with little white snowflakes. Neither girl had anything on their feet, but they did, however, have nail polish on their toes. Audrey had hot pink nail polish, the same color as her pajamas, and Jewel had red nail polish like the shade of ripe strawberries. Audrey had long brown hair, and in her hair were two French braids, whereas Jewel had her long brown hair tied up in a messy bun. Audrey had bright green eyes like evergreen tree leaves, and Jewel had dark brown eyes like cocoa. Both girls had a loose tooth. Audrey's tooth was extremely loose, and she thought that it would fall out any minute. She was so excited that she was dancing around the dusty attic room like a baby monkey. She really wanted to lose her tooth because she wanted her and Jewel to catch the tooth fairy in action of taking her lost tooth and finding out where she comes from and what she does with the teeth she collects. Audrey daydreams about where the tooth fairy may live. In her head, she pictured a massive shining white castle made out of the teeth that children lost, and inside, through the great big tooth-shaped doors, was a very long hallway, almost 100 miles long, with a picture of every child in the whole world who had lost a tooth and what age they were when they lost it. Audrey was delighted when she thought about this fantasy. She wished it was real and she could find the Tooth Fairy's magical kingdom. About an hour into their sleepover, around 6:30 p.m., Audrey's mouth started to feel a little funny. She opened her mouth and put her finger where her loose tooth was. It was still there, but right when her finger made contact with the tooth, it fell right out of her mouth and into her hand. Audrey stumbled backwards. She was so surprised that she thought it was a wonderful dream. She let out an excited yelp and yelled, "Jewel, my tooth! It fell out! I'm so excited!" Audrey couldn't believe this was happening. She wanted to lose her tooth for as long as she could remember. Kids at her elementary school, Chain Lake, had lost their teeth before, and they told her incredible stories about how they reacted and putting their tooth under their pillow and waking up the next morning to the amazing surprise of the tooth fairy leaving them money. And now it was Audrey's turn to tell her friends at school her awesome story. Audrey held out her hand to show Jewel her little tooth. Jewel stared excitedly. "I'm so happy for you, Audrey. Tonight when you were going to sleep, you're going to have to put it under your pillow and wait for the Tooth Fairy." Audrey smiled sneakily and whispered, "Instead of us sleeping and waiting until tomorrow morning just to find money under my pillow, what do you say about staying up all night long and waiting for the Tooth Fairy and seeing where she comes from and what she is going to do with the tooth I lost?" Audrey smiled back at Jewel. Jules smiled back at Audrey. That's a great idea, Audrey. Maybe she has a secret castle in a beautiful faraway kingdom, made entirely out of the children's lost teeth. We should put your tooth under your pillow and pretend to be asleep so we can see where the tooth fairy comes from and we can go with her.